Hello everybody, let's start with our lesson. In this lesson today we are seeing about use during reading activities to prepare students for reading. This is our week number 6. First of all, the most important idea about this is that this kind of activities are going to help our students to focus on some important aspects to consider in the test, and of course to understand it better. This is the most important idea here, okay? In this case we have many different stages and activities to. I'm very sure that they are going to help our students, and of course they're going to help you too. So let's see here. The first one is the test cutting. So as you see, the most important idea here it mentions is this. Test cutting is a modern day take on highlighted and note taking. I really like this strategy. I actually apply it in many different situations. I'm applying this also in Spanish most of the time because I have some homework for my doctoral classes, so I just apply this, and it usually helps me a lot to understand something about the test because I have to read a lot of tests. It's not exactly 1 page or 2 pages or 40 pages. There are like 100 pages, so it's sometimes it's so stress for me. But this is the most important. Test symbols for a noting test. You should consider this, especially in English. First of all, apply in yourself, and later you can apply in your students. Because if you apply it first, you will have experience to know how to use it and how important aspects you can consider and also assess for your students. Okay, you have this. Do you see? Important, keyword, detail, understand, unfamiliar word, I don't understand, I'm surprised, made a connection, and I'm thinking. So you can use the symbols in order that you can understand much better the test, and also later you can ask for many questions, so you can reread of course one more time in order to find a better answer for this. It's a nice activity to apply. Also you can apply this with your students, and of course it will be a good evidence that they are reading too. There is a video to help you. Repeated reading. In order for students to be successful in reading comprehension, they have to be able to read fluently. Why repeated reading is a valuable strategy for developing fluency in readers. It is also helpful in improving reading comprehension. Yes, that is true. It's one activity that we can do it. If we have the chance, we can read twice at least, to understand one read especially. So it's true. But in this case, don't forget, we have to use some reading techniques that we learned during this time. Could be scanning, skimming, extensive reading, intensive reading. We can apply this. The idea here is that we have, as students, in this case, we have to read many times as possible, but the idea is to get a fluently experience about reading. Of course, meanwhile, we are reading more, it will be very easy for us to understand some important aspects of the test. Okay, and also it will be like a part of your life, like a culture in your life that read most of the time. Here there are 2 ideas for implementing this strategy in your classroom. For elementary grades, here says begin by reading the assigned passage of a test to your students as they follow along their books or on sheets that they have been handed out. Yes, there are many ideas in this case, of course. First of all, I have an idea here. For example, one student starts reading and continue the other, and so on and so on, and later I tell the students one more time to read individually the whole test in order that they can understand much better some ideas and they can understand perfectly the test. But this is not the idea exactly, no? About when we read something, the idea is that of course we have to understand, but of course we have to provide our own ideas, our solutions, opinions about the test, and be ready to answer some important questions about different kind of questions to get specific information for details or critical opinion or predictions and something like this. Here says, for the middle and high school grades, ask your students to read and assign passage of tests silently and independently. Yeah, that is very nice. After the second reading, encourage them to write a short summary. Yeah, yes, that is true. That is true. But this is more like post-reading activities. I like a lot the test cutting, and here the most important is about, repeat it, read one more time and try to apply the test cutting in order that when you read one more time, so of course you don't have to have any problems or any doubts in this case. LIT circles. Here says circles are a fun and engaging strategy to use during and after reading to teach reading comprehension. In this case, that helps students make conscious effort to read comprehensively. Yes, that is true. This is very important and necessary. Maybe you can apply this later. Here says, read a test and work together to understand what they are reading. Each member of the group takes one specific role that helps direct the reading. For example, the following roles can be assigned to various members of the group. Let's see. Discussion director, literary luminary, illustrator, summarizer, and vocabulary enricher. Yes, I consider that this is a very nice idea, but it will be perfect for a post-reading activity because after we read, we have to answer some questions and some activities also. So that LIT circle will be amazing for this case because when we are working in groups, we have to divide our lesson, our group, into equal parts in order that each one of the members has a role to fulfill. And of course, they have to do it very well. But at the same time, first of all, it's important to read by yourself, later discuss as a group, and later divide the groups and make a decision. Don't worry individually. Okay, it's very nice if we have the same idea and we think the same, and after we can complete activities and we can help each other. That's very nice. Here you see some videos how to apply it. So here you have valuable information that you will need in order to apply in some different stages from different students. I mean, from primary, kindergarten, secondary, and more often. Say something. Say something is a during reading comprehension strategy that encourages students to take on a more functional view of reading. That's very interesting, very nice. Here it says, another way to implement this strategy is to have the teacher begin by modeling the strategy for the students. Then the teacher can provide potential starters or short guide phrases that will help direct the students' focus during reading. Okay, this is very necessary and important. Sometimes we can give some keywords for our students in order that they can understand much better these ideas. Okay, also I like this where students, for example, we can give them some clues, okay, okay, in order that they can understand much better the reading. I mean, some important words that they can find during the reading, and also they have to make feedback. And the feedback about say something, I mean, the most important thing to consider after I finish reading is applying this. Say something, no? Make a prediction, ask a question, clarify something, make a comment, make a connection, summarize, and that's it. But all these activities are for just while reading activities or during reading activities, because they help us in order to understand much better the reading. Because this activity, the most important is the student get a 99 on a 90% into 100% that they understand the reading, and the student can be focused in some important aspects of the test. But by this way, they need to make some important questions like this: make a prediction. It hurts a lot. Ask a question, clarify something that they don't understand very well, so they can give their opinions, ideas, and of course, a teacher needs to assess their students by this way. Make a comment about the reading, make a connection. Yes, of course, it will have a connection related about his or her life, and summarize the information. Yes, it's important sometimes to summarize the information in order to have a better way to practice or remember some valuable ideas from the test. That's why this is the reason that we summarize. All the information is necessary, but it's much better because most of the time when we summarize an idea, it will help us in order to understand or remember more things about it. This is like a scanning, right? Like a scanning, but most of the time like a skimming. And when you find or we find the most important ideas about it. Directly reading thinking activity. The famous one, DRTA. This strategy is a flexible strategy that can be individually with small groups, or as a full class can be used at any grade level in any content area. That's very nice. This activity help students to improve reading comprehension and help develop critical thinking skills. That's what I told you many times. So we have the following steps to follow. Here says direct. The teacher directs or directs students thinking before they reading occurs. Okay, that's very nice. Students can give opinions about it. This can be done by asking open-ended questions for students to ponder as they read. Yes, it's very nice to open-ended questions. In this case, the student is very important. Alright, that's important. Okay, thank you. I understand this. Reading says the teacher should first select passages of text to be read. Then have students read the first section, and after reading has secured, the teacher can ask questions about specific information included in the test. Yes, it's important to analyze the test. It has a process to follow. Yeah, that's true. Thinking. When the entire sign reading has been completed, students can go back through the test and evaluate their predictions measured against the actual context of the test. Yes, this is amazing. The student, after they read, they will know if their predictions before start reading are exactly the same or maybe different, or it was very near. I really like it. That's really important. And here we have some steps to follow. Okay, so I will finish with this. Here is the summary. I would like to talk to you about this. So please, after we watch this video, because it's just 30 seconds to finish, I would like to talk about this and how we are going to apply this while reading activities or during reading activities in different stages of class. So this is very important to discuss during this lesson, okay? I will be very happy to listen to your ideas, some strategies maybe that you already know or something that you don't know, and how we can apply it. I will be very happy to answer your questions right now. Thank you so much for your time, and let's apply this. They are really interesting and you can apply by yourself. Thank you.